Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Thursday. Welcome back. Hope your day's off to a fantastic start. Let's do another in-depth perfume review. And today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the last alt fragrance that I purchased during my very first, I guess you could say, foray into the alt dupe perfumes. If you are newer to my channel, a long time ago, I made the decision to not purchase from companies that are not cruelty-free. And that includes anything that falls into sort of like the fun, frivolous, like unnecessary realm of my life. And perfume, in my eyes, is something that is very fun and frivolous. And if I'm going to give my money to a company to purchase a product from them, I would like for them to not test their products on animals. I don't expect everyone to have this stance, and I certainly don't expect everyone to follow me down this path. But the fragrances that I typically review on my channel will come from cruelty-free companies. I do have a lot of fragrances in my collection, however, that are not necessarily from cruelty-free companies, because I do receive a lot of gifts from friends and families for birthdays, holidays, special occasions that are perfume related. Most people that are close to me in my life know that if they are trying to think of like a gift idea for me, that one of the safest bets is to probably just go purchase me a perfume. So I do have some in my collection that were gifted to me. And obviously, before I made the decision to go cruelty-free, I had some perfumes in my collection from that time when, basically before I made that decision. So, but for many years now, I have been purchasing cruelty-free, and that means that it definitely limits the amount of perfumes that I can purchase and test out and I guess talk about here on my channel. The wonderful thing is that there are now a lot of cruelty-free dupe companies out there that will dupe a lot of these high-end fragrances from brands like Maison Margiela or Creed or Tom Ford in the case of the review today. And it gives me an opportunity to partake in a lot of those specific fragrances that I still have an interest in, but just I won't purchase the real thing, if you will. So anyway, I have been a Dossier girl for a number of years. It has definitely been my go-to dupe brand for a while. However, there are several brands, actually I should say like specific fragrances that I am interested in that are not available through Dossier, that are available through Alt. So after kind of putting it off for quite some time, I decided to go ahead and make my first round of Alt perfume purchases. If you missed it, I already reviewed their Parfums de Marly de Lina Exclusive dupe perfume, if you will, as well as their Cherry Lightning, which is a dupe for the Tom Ford Electric Cherry. I will link both of those reviews in the description box down below. This video will be going up before Memorial Day, and I do actually think that Alt is having a Memorial Day sale this coming weekend, so you can save 20% off. I don't have a discount code with them or anything. I purchased these things myself. But yeah, they are having a sale this coming weekend. So if you have ever wanted to try anything from Alt and you're looking to save a little bit, there's a sale opportunity for you. I will definitely link Alt in the description box down below. They have a ton of offerings, and their fragrances seem to range, I guess on average in price, from around $39 to $49. So yeah. Definitely a lot more affordable than the real thing, especially in the case of Tom Ford. Most Tom Ford fragrances fall in somewhere between like the $200 and $300 price range. So yeah, you're saving quite a bit of money. And the first two dupes that I reviewed, I thought were pretty good. Today I'm going to talk about the Alt Peach Smash number 20, if you will. This is a dupe of Tom Ford's Bitter Peach. Now, I first came across Bitter Peach when I was at Nordstrom's downtown and had some time to kill, and the Tom Ford perfume lady, she looked bored. I was bored. So I went over, I introduced myself. I let her know right away that, unfortunately, because Tom Ford isn't cruelty-free, that I was not going to be purchasing anything, but that I was kind of interested in sniffing through some of the scents anyway. And she was more than happy to walk me through some of them. And one of the ones that really stood out to me was the Tom Ford Bitter Peach. I think I instantly fell in love with it. And it was one of those moments, like, I only have these very rarely where I'm like, oh, I wish I wasn't cruelty-free. I would absolutely walk away with this, outrageously priced perfume right now if Tom Ford was cruelty-free. But I figured I could probably find a dupe, so I still have them. These are the little like fragrance cards that the lady gave to me. So the Tom Ford fragrances that I was really looking into that day were the Bitter Peach, here we go, the Electric Cherry, the Lost Cherry, as well as the Cherry Smoke. I really do like a lot of the Tom Ford fragrances. And little tip, if you are a member at Costco, at the Costco website, you do have to have a membership. For some things with Costco, I feel like you don't have to have a membership. I don't know if that's just the pharmacy, but anyway, they do make you log in and provide your Costco account number, but they do actually have the Tom Ford 1.7 ounce size for well under the regular retail. So if you are someone who, does not care about the cruelty-free status, you can save a lot of money by picking up the Bitter Peach there versus at like Nordstrom, Sephora, Bloomingdale's, some of the other more traditional retailers. I'm positive that it is not a, what was the word I'm looking for? I don't think it's a fake. That's what I'm trying to say. I have heard that there have been some fakes sold through Costco, but Costco also has a really amazing return policy. So if you get it and you don't like it, they'll totally take it back. So, but anyway, just a heads up if you are looking for the OG Bitter Peach. So obviously we are kind of late getting into this review here. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background about why I decided to try the fragrances from Alt. I will say, not terribly impressed with the Alt packaging overall. The perfumes have been pretty good, but it's pretty cheap. I do think that I like the overall presentation and packaging of the Dossier fragrances a little bit more. Just the bottles feel heavier with Dossier. I like the sprayers a little bit better, and this portion up here just kind of feels a little bit cheap. But that being said, you're not paying for packaging with Alt, you're paying for the actual fragrance. So the original fragrance family that the Tom Ford Bitter Peach falls into is florals. It's a fruity floral. The key notes are the, oh my gosh, I don't know, Pêche de Vigne. So I took a year of French in high school. I know that I butchered that. So, but yeah, peach. Peach is one of the fragrance notes. Blood orange, as well as patchouli. Hey, Alf, how's it going? So those are sort of the main fragrance notes in the original. And I will say the original fragrance with My Body Chemistry was mwah, absolute perfection. And I did spray it on my skin that day. And I felt like the wear time of that particular fragrance was like, I could smell it on my skin the next morning when I woke up. Like, definitely some great lasting power, at least with that particular Tom Ford fragrance. I don't know if they are all like that. If you're more familiar with Tom Ford, definitely correct me in the comments down below. But anyway, let's go ahead and read through the Peach Smash over on the Alt website in terms of the fragrance notes that they have listed. I'll take you guys through through how I think it compares and also the lasting power, the projection of this fragrance, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so the top notes for the alt version are peach, blood orange, cardamom, and heliotrope. The middle notes are cognac, jasmine, rum, and Davana. The base is patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, cashmeran, tonka bean, vetiver, and benzoin. Okay, this to me, I think is, this one here seems like a version of Bitter Peach. I don't think it is across the board like an exact dupe. I really don't. I think the Cherry Lightning was a little bit closer to the Electric Cherry than this Peach Smash is to the original Bitter Peach. It as a fragrance in its own right, I think this is good. I don't think it's great. And this does not scratch my Bitter Peach itch. I'll tell you that right now. This one here has kind of a strange, when you first spray this, you definitely smell peach, but it comes across as a strangely baby powder peach type note. It's very, very interesting because I did not have that experience with the original at all. And this smells quite like powder forward. It's very heavy on that powdery note. And it kind of almost, I don't want to say it ruins the fragrance, but I just don't think that it's, I wish it wasn't powdery. I think that sort of changes it for me a little bit too much. I do get that blood orange in here, and I think the blood orange is probably pretty similar to what is in the original. In terms of cardamom, I do pick up a little bit of that. I'm actually wearing it on my skin already. Yeah, I do actually smell that cardamom, as well as the heliotrope. As it dries down, I really kind of tend to, at least to my nose kind of skips over the middle notes. Like, I don't really smell much in the way of cognac. Like, nothing about this smells particularly boozy to me. Don't really get the jasmine, don't really get the rum, and I don't really get the Davana, although I have to admit I'm not super familiar with that particular note. I do get the patchouli. I think the patchouli and the Tom Ford is much more sophisticated. This patchouli almost leans more towards that borderline like dirty hippie note that patchouli can go. There is either a sophisticated, beautiful patchouli note, or there is kind of that more like super earthy, way too earthy, like what I like to call a dirty hippie patchouli. And this one leans more towards that than it does towards the more sophisticated, beautiful version of patchouli. Sandalwood, yes. Vanilla, not so much. Tonka, I can see. Yeah, that's really the bulk of what sort of stands out to me about this fragrance. Yeah, I don't love this one. Do I regret trying it? I don't regret trying it. Do I see myself finishing this bottle? I don't know. This is one of those fragrances where I could probably just see myself like putting this into my like gift to friends pile. I do that a lot. I tend to be someone who, when I don't like something, I'm kind of bad about returning things. So I'll just keep them. And then periodically I get overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have, and I just basically put everything into a bag, and I text all my girlfriends and I'm like, hey, the bag's full. Come and get some free stuff, basically. So my girlfriends definitely benefit from that. So you're welcome, girls. But yeah, this is one where I think I'll probably maybe keep it for a little bit longer, but I think it's going to be one that I can easily de-stash from my collection. The other two I think I'll actually keep, but this one is just too far from the original, and I don't think this one jives with my body chemistry. Like that powdery note takes a long time to dry down on my skin. Once it does, I can smell just a little bit more of the intention of the original, but it's still not enough to, like I said, scratch that itch for me. If you have a better dupe, or really any dupe for the Tom Ford Bitter Peach fragrance, definitely let me know down below. Or if you have something that is very similar, because I love the scent, you guys. Honestly, if Tom Ford went cruelty-free tomorrow, I would log on to Costco.com and I would place that order. I really would. I don't think that this is similar enough to the original to really even be called like a dupe. I think a fragrance, this as a fragrance in its own right is okay, but I don't know. Just the powderiness, and then the dry down gets even a little bit like smokier in a weird way. I don't love this, is the moral of the story. The projection and the lasting power, however, are fantastic. This is a fragrance that will get you noticed. It's quite potent. You do not want to overdo it with this one, and I actually find the lasting power to be pretty darn decent. I can smell this like 4, 5, 6 hours into like an average wear. So I guess there's some pluses there. If you really like this scent, I can tell you that the performance of it is fantastic, but the scent itself is just not what I expected. So anyway, that was kind of a long story, but moral of that story is I'm still on the hunt. So if you have suggestions, leave them down below. I will go ahead and link alt in the description box down below. Like I said, I don't have a discount code. They're just having a 20% Memorial Day sale. So if you're in the market, definitely check out some of their other dupes. I will try more from alt. I'm not going to give up on them, but I think I'd like to try another company first before getting more from alt. So leave your favorite dupe company in the comments down below. I believe it's called Okcha. That's the one that I am thinking about hitting up next. Let me know what your experience is with that one and if there are any great recommendations over there. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.